everyone, welcome back to All Things with Shanti. My name is Shantal and I'm the creator of this GirlChat podcast. On this episode, we get to chat with Melissa. She's the creator of Sweet Like Millie underscore on Instagram. She is literally full of light and full of love, and her page literally is so inspiring. And I'm so glad that we got to chat it up. So grab your glass of wine, ladies, and let's chat.
Yeah, and it's
You did
cool
it
because
anyway.
I get to talk about different topics, and then sometimes even talking to the ladies, like we literally just start talking about one thing, and then we go deep into a different topic, and it's just like so interesting because what we're talking about can be helping the next person that's listening.
Yeah.
And I actually recently did a birth control topic, and I spoke about birth control, and one of the girls, like, she had trouble with being able to have a baby, and she actually
Yeah.
found out she was pregnant, but then she lost the baby. So it was the first time
Oh,
she spoke to me about that, and the first time she
wow.
spoke about it ever. So it was emotional, and she was just
Yeah.
like, I've never talked about it. And the fact that you asked me the right questions and you were there, she's like, it felt good to like just let that out. So I was like, this is what I want. Like, this is what I want to
This is what
create.
this is
I want
about.
you to be, yeah, I want you to be able to talk and let loose. So with, I guess it's just something that I guess we didn't have growing up
Yeah.
in our environment. I want to create that so the next person can know that, oh, I'm going through something. I know I could talk to somebody. I would like to introduce you. I would like for you to let us know who you are. Who is Melissa? Where are you from? And who is Sweet Like Millie?
All right. So, I'm a Latina, so proud Latina. My parents are both from El Salvador, but I was born in DC. Yeah, I consider myself someone like I feel like I'm super down to earth. Like you said, if someone meets me, it's like, oh my god, there go the dogs.
It's
Someone
okay.
meets me, it's like she's always smiling. I'm a huge hugger, so like that would be the word that to describe me, just because like if you see me, I want to hug you, and I definitely want to share that with everyone. Like at work, someone would say like, "What's your superpower?" And I'd be like, "Well, um, I give hugs. Like that's my superpower because I want to share the joy and like science says, like if you hug someone for 15 seconds, it's like you can pass that feeling onto somebody else and like making them feel better. So yeah, just like definitely someone who's kind, friendly. I consider myself super hardworking. Uh I'm still in school, and that's like the battle, it's not a race. Everyone does it at their own pace, time. I never knew what I wanted to do, so for a long time I was like, I'm gonna be a nurse or I'm gonna be like a pediatrician. But I always knew I wanted to work with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working at a school where I realized like, why am I in school to be a doctor? Like I need to be a teacher. Like this is what I love to do. I have like this talent. And so I changed my major after so many tries and taking so
Mm-hmm.
many classes. But yeah, I found like my passion through kids, but I want to work and do like speech pathology.
Ooh.
So helping, yeah. So first I gotta get the first bachelor's degree, and then oh my gosh, Maxie,
No, it's fine.
he's so funny. He loses it when his mom leaves.
Aw, same like my
Yeah, but I know they're like, come back. You just came inside. What are you doing?
dog.
Um, but yeah, like I wanted to do. I just I took a year off, even like so much to just like kind of find myself, and I had got promoted at work and did I ran the aftercare program, and so when I did that is when I knew like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like you go through life finding and doing so many things that you don't realize that each thing is taking you to where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Like I was working at I worked at Panera, and then I worked at a gym, and then at a gym I connected with a mom who was like, "You're so sweet. Like, have you thought about working at a school?" And I was like, um no. I mean, I'm in school to like, just I'm this is my job to pay off like my school bills, whatever. And she recommended me, and boom, like that connection changed my life.
Aw.
And yeah, and it's so crazy to think about, like, had I not just had a part-time job, I
Mhm.
would still be in school for something else, and I wouldn't have found what I love.
Mhm.
um so yeah, so that's me. So I'm working, going to school. I created this blog page because I felt when I so school is closed, obviously, back in March, and so we were doing virtual learning and trying to do virtual school. My school is an early childhood center, so it's only kids from 2 to 5.
Mhm.
So can you imagine, like, trying to teach a 2-year-old something virtually? Like, it was insane. So that was, we limited it to 2 times a week, and it was like, this 2-year-old does not care what I'm doing on this camera right now. Like, this isn't what their development is about. Like, they need in-person learning, and they need the social interactions, and I
Mhm.
can't give that to them virtually. And I was feeling so frustrated. Like, I I started to, like, stress eat, and I was like,
Mhm.
this is so awful. Like, the school's closed then. We didn't know we were gonna have a job.
Yeah.
And so with all of that, like, I was reading so many books that I
Mhm.
was just like, I I have found, like, that I need something that can get me back and, like, keep me on track, because I love to exercise. So for me, like, reading a book, exercising, journaling, like, all of that stuff was like, okay, I got this. Like, I'm back on track. Like, this is awful for everyone, but we need to cope with it, and we need coping mechanisms to do it. And I remember, like, feeling like I feel like I need to read something daily that, like, will tell me, like, it's okay not to be okay. Like,
Mhm.
you are not alone in this. Like, we're all facing so many troubles in the world right now, and
Mhm.
having that little reminder, or like that one thing to tell you to smile, like things like the simplest things. And I started to think, I have followed so many, I go to Soul Cycle. I don't know if you know what that
Oh,
is. It's
yeah.
like a, yeah, it's like a group fitness, but cycling, and all of them, it's not just cycling. It's like so much more than that. They're like so overpowering, and they like tell you everything you need to hear in that class. And I follow two of them, three of them, who like really inspired me to like dig deep. Like, when I feel down, like,
Mhm.
what is it, why can't I think of something good to like overpower those feelings, right? And so I was like, what can I do to, like, anybody, even if I had one follower? Like, I think that that one follower would be so grateful. Like, I do this for the fact that if one person needs it, and I know that I made that impact on them because they were like, they woke up, opened Instagram, and saw something that was like so positive,
Mhm.
and they changed their day, like, it's so worth it. And I was like, it's worth it for me when I open their profile. So I was like, I need to do something that's strictly that. Like, it's not about like body image or like working out, and like, if you're here and I'm here, like, no, this is about a positive thought.
Mhm.
Let's share good vibes. You are doing well no matter what you're doing. And yeah, so I think that that's kind of where Sweet Like Melly comes from. It's just like sweet little thoughts here and there, and it stems from me like wanting to know that I can share that with somebody else. It's so important to me. So
And
that's kind of where I am.
where do you see the future for you?
So I kind of like not knowing. Like, I kind of like, kind of just waiting to see what the future holds. So because you ultimately control like the outcome, right? So I just kind of want to see where it goes. I definitely hope to like I've been thinking about little things I can do with my page, like here and there, and it's like stickers that someone can put on their stuff, or like a shirt or something. So like those are things that I have like in my head down the line, or written down, because I'm like, that could be so cool. Like, people
Mhm.
could like wear positivity. But I think just knowing that if somebody else follows, it's like, man, they need that. Like, and that's so great, because that's why I do it every day. That's why I wake up and I'm like, okay, what can I post about today? Because, or sometimes it even reflects how I am. I'm like, I need to hear it, so I'm going to put it out there because somebody else might need to hear it.
Yeah.
So so the future for me is more like just kind of taking it day by day,
Mhm.
and hoping that it continues. I'm 100% ready to have this continue and be something huge because I love it. Like I find so much joy in giving others joy.
Mhm.
And like people will reply and they'll be like don't stop what you're doing, like you're amazing. And I'm like, thanks. Like I wasn't doing it for that comment, but thank you so much. Like that uplifts me so much. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so for me it's like I like that it's vague.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, if it's like popping, then let's do this. Let's keep going.
You will do amazing things because, like I said, you are that person. Like it's just who you are. Like I feel you like you have this light and you have this positivity. Like I'm saying, if someone were to meet you right now, they will feel that. And it's kind of like you can feel that when it comes to like meeting people. You can feel like, okay, and then you meet this person, like this person's nice, like you just connect like this. And I feel like with you, anybody can connect because you just have that light around you. You just have that positivity. And it's like you literally are sprinkling light and love and happiness to everyone you encounter, even if it's just like, oh, good morning. Like you just even saying that to someone, they're like, she said good morning so happy. Like, dang, I should be happy today. Like it's just you. And I know everything you do is going to be great because that's just who you are.
Thank you so much.
Another important question that I have, because I just get that from you, is, and I feel like everything you post is like good for this question. So this question is, um, what advice would you give to someone right now that's struggling on really finding their happiness?
So, one thing, and I'll just share from experience, like how it was for me, because I feel like I was struggling to find my happy, like at the beginning of all this.
Hmm.
I would just like really focus on what brings you actual joy. Like write down things that bring you joy, like whether that be going for a walk or watching a show or playing with your dog, like literally anything that brings you joy. Just write all of those things down and try to incorporate them in your everyday life. Like
Hmm.
for me, like I mentioned, exercise is a huge thing for me. Like I have to like have a moment where I just let go and let loose, and like that for me is where I do that.
Hmm.
Or journaling. Like I've shared on my page that there's this guided journal that I bought that asks you like joyful questions, like what was good about today, like write three things down, or like do you have someone in your life that you're so grateful for, why are you grateful for them, what's so great about them. Like sometimes people think journaling can be a little silly because you just don't know
Hmm.
what to journal about.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. Like it's really just write what you're feeling, and then with those journals, like when it makes you look for joy, you immediately feel happy. Like you could even think of that on your own. You don't even need a journal. Like think about one thing that you were grateful for today and let that power like the rest of your day or the rest of your night or however. But it's really important to have one thing that brings you so much joy and just incorporate that in your everyday life because it will make a difference. Um like when I'm in a slump, I go for a walk, I play like a really cool playlist. That's another thing. Have a dance party. Like
Yes.
have you ever had like a solo dance party? You just play like one
All
bomb
the time.
song
All
and
the
you're like, all right, I'm gonna dance it out and nobody's here so I can look crazy.
Yes.
But at the end of that, you feel so good.
Yes.
You're like nobody's watching or criticizing how you dance because who cares? Like this is you. This is like the best version of you.
Mhm.
So if you need to find like one happy immediately, play a bomb song
Mhm.
and just dance it out. Like I promise you, you'll feel so much better.
Yes, it's literally
Um,
curing.
yeah, and like, or even when you're on your way to work and you're like, you're running late, you have like, you spilled like half your coffee, you're just having the
Oh.
worst morning. Just play, like, have a playlist that will
Mhm.
change that mood. Because I will tell you, one time my car didn't turn on, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna let this ruin my day. I'm gonna take Chris's car. He can figure out what's wrong with my car. And I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. But you know what? We're gonna play like Bad Bunny and
Yes,
whatever to like hype me up. And so
that was
yeah,
me
I
today.
exactly. And it does help. Like it's so cheesy to say these things, but like they do something, like
Yeah.
they actually help you. And so that would be my like to way to find your happy, like create spaces and
Mhm.
things that will change your mood, like a playlist, or like find time in your day to watch like your favorite show. Like not everyone has time to be on Netflix, but like if you have 30 minutes, do it. Like why not?
Mhm.
You can create the time. You can be you can plan out your day and just it'll be okay. You just have to find what it
Yeah.
is.
Talking
Yes.
about uplift, what uplifts you?
What uplifts me? You know what? Having great people in my life, like I could talk about finding joy and finding happiness all on your own because I feel like you are powerful on your own,
Mhm.
but you need people that uplift you because when you can't do that, you can rely on someone to be like, "Hey, I need you right now. Like I need to go for a walk, but I don't want to be alone." Like having people who uplift you. Like, I mean, I have Chris. We've been dating forever. We might as well be married at this point. Um, so yeah, I have Chris. I have like great family. The dogs, the dogs uplift you. But yeah, I think like having people who ground you and just like good vibes around you caught like they make you project good vibes as well because like you said, like you could meet someone and be like
Yeah.
but when you have the right people around you, you never have that feeling. And
Yeah.
who needs to have that feeling? Because
Mhm.
like get rid of the toxic, like no time for that. And
Mhm.
so yeah, just people who will literally support you and love you and just be right behind you no matter what crazy goal dream you have.
Mhm.
That's so important, like having people that uplift you. That would be my answer to that.
Aw. And
Yeah.
what advice would you give to any of our listeners that right now, with this whole pandemic, everything that's going around in this world, they're just struggling right now on finding self love? What advice would you give to them?
To find self-love, I think today I actually posted about this. My friend Julie posted a quote that's like, "You are your own home,"
Mhm.
and I think in order to find self-love, you have to stop seeking for love, like for love from others, and love yourself.
Mhm.
Like stop putting others first before your emotions, before your feelings. Because if you feel like you're not doing something, you feel like you're doing something to please others all the time, like let it go. Like just do you, be you in your best version, whether that be like I need the laziest day today, it's fine, like I got this, I'm gonna have a lazy day, but you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be a bomb day,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna let anyone or anything get in the way of that. I think once you start accepting that you yourself have so much power,
Mhm.
like you literally can change your mood. Like it's so hard for people who have anxiety and depression, and it's so much easier said than done. But
Mhm.
like having like triggers, like I don't know if I've mentioned this yet on my page, but like how memories have such a huge impact
Oh
on
yeah.
you. Like you go back, like look at a photo album and remember those feelings and
Mhm.
remember who you were in that picture and who you are today and how much you've grown.
Yeah.
Like looking at a reminder of your growth
Mhm.
and just writing down goals and being like on top of it. Like I would never say to someone like, dude, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing right now, like what's going on. I would rather be like, look, you're having an off day right now, but
Mhm.
what can you do to make it better? Like what can you do to know tomorrow you're not going to have those bad feelings anymore? Or
Mhm.
like what's a goal? And it could be a simple goal. It could be like, I'm going to make my bed in the morning.
Mhm.
Bam. Like that, if you accomplish that and you feel so good, that's self-love. Like give yourself credit, like you did it. I had a horrible day yesterday, but today it's not going to happen. It's not here. I'm not here for it. So just like knowing, like trying to remember you've got the power, I think that would be my best advice. Like it's so hard, and especially in the middle of a pandemic, because you're like, I was supposed to do this, I was supposed to go here, I was supposed to travel, I was supposed to do all these things, but I can't because it's for my health.
Yeah.
What else can we do? Like what what if you're like this amazing painter and you had no idea because you'd never picked up a brush, or like,
Mhm.
like just let loose, do something different for once, and see what, like, see what that brings you and stuff. I think that that's like, you are your own
Mhm.
power. Bam.
Yes. And that's kind of like when it comes to like self-love, I feel like self-love is just like a journey. And Michelle Obama said that your growth is always you're always going to be growing. The journey
Yeah.
never ends. Like you're
Yes.
always growing. Even if right now you feel like you're at your best self,
Hmm.
you still have an earth infinity. You still have
Yeah.
this year, the other year, like you're still growing. You may be your best self for right now, but next year
Hmm.
you'll be your best self. Like
Yeah,
it's just a
and that's so powerful. That one phrase you just said, like, you could be your best self right now, but you're gonna be greater next year. Like,
yes,
how wild is that? Like, you think that this is the best you can do, but no, boo, you can do way better.
yes,
And you are where you need to be right now for your best self. Don't rush the process. Like, it's a
yes.
journey. You're going to find whatever it is you need with time. And like, that's another thing. Patience is so hard,
Mhm.
especially right now when you can't really do much. Um, but yeah, that Michelle Obama, I read her book. It was amazing. So
Yeah, she's
yeah.
amazing, and it's just like I was thinking, I'm like, you know what, like that is true. Like we're always growing. Like our journey never ends. So maybe right now, this moment, I'm where I need to be, and I just need to
Hmm.
take a step back and look at where I was a year ago. Look
Yeah.
at where I was yesterday. Look at where I was last week. And I
Hmm.
feel like growth is just so important when it comes to just even being your best self. Like you have to grow. Like if you're not
Yeah.
growing, how do you know that what you're bringing to the table is your best self? How do you know what
Yeah.
you're bringing to your content, your project, your work, how
Yeah.
your love, your partner? How do
Yeah.
you know that you're giving them your best self? And when it comes to like advice for people trying to figure out or find their self-love, like you said, first you have to find love within yourself. And this
Yeah.
one I can really relate because I was at a point in my life where being by yourself, that period of being by yourself is needed. Even if it's
Hmm.
being out of a relationship, being out of a friendship for a very long time, because we do have friendship breakups. That's real life.
Yeah. That's
And
a real thing.
it takes a long time to really heal. And I feel like healing is just an everlasting journey. Like you're always healing no matter what,
Yeah.
memories, trauma, everything. And I just feel like
Yeah.
for me, I had to take a step back and understand, okay, I have this alone time. I don't know how long I'm going to be alone, but for right now, I don't like who I was before. I need to be someone better mentally, physically, emotionally. So what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
is I'm gonna have to put my big girl pants on and remove things, people, feelings, music, actions, the way I talk. I have to remove that.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
holding me back. So once I did that, I said, okay, I removed that. So now I have to figure out what I want. I figured out what I wanted. And then I said, okay, if I want this in my life, then I have to first be supportive for myself, love myself. Before I love
Absolutely.
myself, I have to figure out what kind of love I want, what kind of
Yep.
love I want for myself, and what kind of love I want to give to others. Because there's
Yes.
different types of love. So you want to make sure that whatever you want in return, you're giving it out, but you want to make sure that it's true, it's honest, it's pure. It's always important to spread love, but be pure, be honest. And once I did that, I realized that, okay, I know what I want. I know the love that I want and the love that I want to receive. So once I had that, I was
Hmm.
able to have so many open doors, so many positivity, so many new feelings, new friendships, new bonds, new jobs, new opportunities, blessings,
Yep.
accomplishments. And
Yes.
it's like I let a part of me go, but I was born again into a new, it was like a butterfly, and it was an important moment for me because I just felt
Yeah.
poof, like this is me, this is who I am. And ever since
Yeah.
then, like I created this page, and I I knew that this is what I wanted to do and this is what's me. And
Hmm.
once I did this is my baby. So once I did this,
Yes.
I was like, I know that whatever I do, I'm gonna be great at it. I'm gonna be because it's gonna be pure, it's gonna be honest, it's gonna be real. I'm not
Yes.
gonna be like, hey Melly, yeah, just act like you're smiling or just laugh. I'm not gonna do that
There's
because I want it to be
intention. Yes.
real. Yeah, I want it to be real. I want when people look at this, I want them to be like, they're really
This is
actually
like
talking.
raw, real
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
self love is so dear to me. Growth is so dear to me, and healing is so dear to me
Yeah.
because I feel like people don't really punch
Take
at
the
that.
time.
They don't
Hmm.
really take their time to understand what that is because you can heal from different things, feelings,
Absolutely.
love, food,
From grief,
memories.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so important because if you're not healed from that, how do you expect that what you're bringing to the table or what you're giving out to the world is really what you really want to give? Maybe that grief, that heartbreak, that friendship breakup, is stopping you from really feeling the feeling around you, feeling other people's
Hmm.
feeling. It's blocking you. So you really just have to take a step back. And it's not easy. It's not overnight. Like I'm not gonna be like,
Mm-mm.
girl, yeah, self love. No, girl. It took like 9
Mm-mm.
months to a year.
Yes.
It was hard. You
Exactly.
have to be strict with yourself. Like
Yes.
just because I say, oh yeah, I'm not gonna talk to this person or I have to, remove this out of my life. And then tomorrow I'm like, hey girl, I was just kidding. Like that's not fair to
Yeah,
me. Like,
no.
that's not
No.
fair to me and my growth, my process, my healing. It may be
No.
cool for them, but for me, it's messing me up. It's messing up my path, my direction of where I need to go to. And
Exactly.
sometimes cutting things off, it's okay. It's really okay.
Yeah.
Because
And like they've served their purpose.
hmm
Like if they're not meant to be in your life, and if they are meant to be in your life, they'll come back at a time where both of you will be ready.
hmm
Um so yeah, it's just like you said, time, discipline, like
yes.
you've got to be able to just say not right now. Like
hmm
I need to do me right now. I need to just keep we're at some point in our lives it'll be like remember when, and it's
Yeah.
like yeah, but I'm so much better. Like
Yes.
so it just, and that could be with anything, with
hmm
anything, like letting go of toxic habits, like
Yes.
anything, it could be anything. But yeah, I mean, do you want to run Sweet Like Melly? You got this.
what do you what do you feel like your purpose is here on earth and what's your language on life?
So for me, definitely my purpose, I feel like, well, going back to like work, I feel like I truly believe God gives you talents and like you run with it. You go with it.
Mhm.
Like this is what you were meant to do. I truly feel like I belong working with kids. So my purpose honestly would be to be not just like to be able to give joy and happiness to like adults and everyone, but also to children. Like we don't know what they go home to. We don't know
Mhm.
what situation they're in. We don't know what their life is like, what their parents are like. And sometimes you are their advocate. Like you are the person that they find comfort in, that they can confide in. And like sometimes you could be their best friend. Like you
Yeah.
don't know. And so for me, I feel like my purpose has been to just bring joy, but not just for like mental health, but for all around. And like be that person to a child who maybe they feel so much anxiety with their parents, because this in this day and age, like there are parents who are full-time working parents, like they just don't have the time or like the luxury to spend with their kids, and
Mhm.
it's hard. Like they want to be able to provide, and it's nothing against them, but their 2-year-old needs that love, and when you're with them, it's like you are fulfilling that little gap for them, and you'll never know how much they appreciate it. Like you see it, the glow in their eye, and you see like they hug you and the way they like talk to you, and
Mhm.
like they'll say random things like Miss Melissa, I love you, and you like that
Mhm.
will change you, that would change your day. And it's like, so for me, my purpose, I feel like, is to be an advocate to
Mhm.
somebody who to a child, to an adult, to anyone who needs just a little extra loving. Like I'm here, I got you. But that would definitely be my purpose. People, that would be my purpose. And my language, man, that's like a tough question. I think compassion, like
Mhm.
being able to empathize and have compassion for others would be my language, because I read something somewhere where it was like we can preach about being happy and finding joy and like all this, but at the end of the day, someone is still not getting it.
Mhm.
And you have to be able to empathize with that person and say, you know, it's truly okay not to be okay, and you will be okay at some point. um so being able to just be compassion and empathizing and being understanding is a huge part of, I think, my language, and like wanting to make sure, despite me wanting to, like, you can be happy, like you can do this, you got this, like, all right, we are not there right now, and that's okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we've got you, we're all here for you, we all see that. um like, you may not need the happiness and joy and the cheesiness and all the sparkles and all that stuff, because sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you need to feel those hard feelings. Like, you can be sad, you can be mad, you can be angry, you can cry, like, cry it out. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want you to. I'm never, this page is never telling anyone you can't feel those feelings, because that's a huge part of life, and that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that um is so important too. Like, it's, you are allowed to be upset about whatever you're upset about. You're allowed to feel every single feeling. It's valid. Like, you're feeling it, it's valid, because you have to remember you're putting yourself first. So allow yourself to let go and, like, cry. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I have cried on my exercise bike,
Mm-hmm.
because of, like, the words that the instructor is telling me. Like, who are you doing this for? Like, what is your purpose? Why? Like, if I had an awful day, I mean, like, a few weeks ago, I found out my grandfather isn't doing well,
Mm.
and I'm gonna try not to cry. And
It's okay to
I,
cry.
like, exactly,
It's
exactly. I
okay.
know. I look at me, follow your own advice. But I, I was like, I was like in denial a little bit, because it's so hard. Like, so, little backstory. He's pretty young, but he's been through so much. Like, in El Salvador, he came here after having a huge procedure done, like brain surgery, like, no lie, like, just huge, huge thing that he might not have made anyway, and he did. And his, like, kidney started to fail, his liver started to fail, and I was like, what? Like, I thought everyone in my life was good. I got to my parents' house, and my dad was like, so this is happening. And I had to take a few days to process. Like, I don't think I really truly accepted what was going on
Mm-hmm.
until my mom was like, my he wants to talk to you. And I was like, of course. Like, I didn't call him the next day, because I was like, I'm not ready to have that conversation. Like, I'm not ready to, because I won't even be able to speak. I was like, I'm gonna be bawling. And I remember talking to him, and I was like, what's going on? Because he had decided he was done. He had decided he wasn't going to do dialysis. He had decided he was not going to do anything, and just go back to El Salvador and go in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, but how much time are we talking here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this like weeks? Is this months? Like, what are you telling me? And the joy in his voice to tell me, like, I've lived my life. I've seen my kids grow up. I've seen my grandkids grow up. And I was like, I can't be mad at him for wanting to just go in peace. Like, I cannot be mad at him. I can be mad at myself
Mm-hmm.
for not wanting to let him go and all this stuff. And I was like, this is so frustrating, because he could fight. Like, he could fight and he could do all this. And for like a week, I was like in denial, and I was like, this is awful. And I hopped on my bike, and I was like, I'm gonna ride this bike, and I'm gonna try and get over it, and like let all those feelings out, whatever. And she played one, like, this song. I think it was When I Look at You, Miley Cyrus. It's like that one from the
Oh
last song where her dad dies.
gosh.
And I lost it. I was like, it's like I was meant to take this class, because I needed to get every single tear out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember writing, and like, I was like ugly crying. It was not a cute, it was not a pretty scene. And I was like, wow, like, I needed to feel all those feelings, and I needed to let all of that go. And then, like, I was praying, and I was like, let it be whatever it is. And then I got the news that he was going to do dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's like better. Like, it's going to be okay. He decided he was going to do what was best for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to fight. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Like, you go through all these feelings and steps and denial and grief and all that, like, all at
Mm-hmm.
once. But at the end, he was like, I got this. And I was like, that's so crazy that like I had to go through all these feelings for him to just tell me like I'm actually gonna do I'm gonna try. And I was like,
Mhm.
thank you. Like that's all I needed. But you literally never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
Like I've been posting like all these things and I'm human.
Mhm.
I go through life as well and I have hard times and good times and all this stuff, but behind it all like you have to push.
It cherished all my growths, all my obstacles,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
what made me stronger and it's what made me me. So when it comes to like understanding you and what you do, your foundation, we're a seed. We're always growing. We're always creating our best self, no matter what, the good, the bad, the sad, the happiness. It
Yeah.
makes us and it creates our foundation. It's our base. So we can
Mhm.
become I picture us as trees, like
Yeah.
we're growing, and then we're blossoming. But even when we're blossoming, we're still blossoming. Like we're
Yeah.
still growing no matter what. Like Miss Michelle Obama said, the journey never ends. Like you're always becoming.
No.
You're always becoming. So with this, like what would be your message on life? Like what do you want listeners to take from this?
So I'm gonna add on to what you said about the tree because I think that's so important. Like
Hmm.
every year trees lose their leaves. Like
Hmm.
we literally go through life and every year is new. Every tree is going to have new leaves. Like every year something new is going to come along and it's going to change you for the better. It's going to bring you down sometimes, but you're going to grow. Like talking about growth and all this stuff, it's not linear. Like you're
Hmm.
going to have times where you go down and that's still a part of your growth. And there're
Yeah.
going to be times where you go so high and you're like, I'm the best version of myself right now. Guess what? Even at that top, you never know what's going to hit you tomorrow. So also remember to remain humble. Like
Hmm.
go through life, remain like giving someone the equal respect and not like I don't ever want people to think of me as like I'm better than you because I'm posting this stuff. Like never. Like I do this so the whole purpose and what I want people to remember is I do this for the little bit of joy that I can give you every day,
Hmm.
or the little reminder that I can give you every day, and it power your day, whether it be give you a smile or whether it be like, wow, someone said good morning. Like you said, like someone said good morning to me and nobody has said that to me yet. Like
Yeah.
that's so crazy to think like you could change someone's mood, and that's my goal. Like I want you to remember that no, I'm not better than anyone. And I'm also growing and I'm also healing. And I also go up and down because growth is not linear yet again.
Hmm.
And I'm just here to serve my purpose, which we shared is to be an advocate. I want to be an advocate for you. And yeah, like just take that little bit from me, from you, because you're also sharing with us too. And yeah, I mean, we got
We got
this.
this. But
Yeah,
I just really want to thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this with
absolutely.
me. Thank you for giving advice to the listeners. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to upload this and share with everyone
Yay.
because I know they're going to love it. Listeners, please do not forget to follow Melissa on Sweet Like Melly underscore.
Underscore, yes.
Please
And you
follow.
are a super woman.
Oh, thank you,
I
thank
gotta tell
you,
you, okay?
thank you.
I did not know this about you, and I didn't need to know this
Mhm.
story about you to know that you're super strong and
Oh,
super
thank
capable
you,
of doing wonderful things.
thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
You got it.
Bye.
Bye.